Hello Gemini, Elsie here to do a reading for you, my friends. What we're doing this week is we're looking at an overview of 2025. How are you, Gemini? Thanks so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you, friends. So if you are somebody who's just rolling up on all these shenanigans here, welcome, welcome, Gemini. I hope that you will stay. There is a subscription button in the bottom right-hand corner. A lot of you have come by here over the last year and given me your clicks and views, but you're not yet subscribed. So I hope that you will decide to do that. It does make a difference in how this tribe grows. Gemini, it's been growing great. From what I can see, thank you so much for all the ways that you've been loving on me. If you're the ride or die, thanks for coming back this year. I appreciate you. Let's find out. Let's look at the overview and find out what's coming out for you over 2025. Please keep in mind this is a general reading and not all of it is going to resonate with all of you. Tell me about Gemini, please. First card I put out, what you don't know. Ooh, what you don't know is that you are the magician. You're in control of it all. That you're the creator. You're the manifester. Whatever you say goes, and your thoughts become things. According to Joe Dispenza, thoughts become things. What will help you thrive this year? The Eight of Swords, very interesting. So all of the overthinking that you've done is about to pay off. Funny, huh? Yeah. You say, Elsie keeps telling me stop overthinking, but I think it's about to pay off. The actions that you should take this year, the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like you're supposed to go at things slowly. And your energy, part of your energy is the Knight of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, that could be a challenge. What are you supposed to let go of this year? We do have the Six of Swords. So it's not something you have to let go of. I think you just need to let go. It's time for you to let go of chaotic thoughts, chaotic situations, chaotic places. Maybe the past is the place where the chaos is. I feel like the Six of Swords is telling me that you need to take whatever you've learned, right? She's in that boat and she's holding that bag in her hand, and that's all the things that she doesn't want to forget, right? All the things that she's learned, communications, connections, things that she's learned in this life, the lessons, she wants to take the lessons with her. What's your main focus? The heart of the matter here, main focus for the year for Gemini is the Four of Swords. Being in this place, we've got lots of swords showing up here. I feel like they're coming up around the magician for a reason. I feel like this year, you are about to gain some sort of mental stability this year. I feel like you are going to sleep on things, think about things, that you're not going to be charging at things. It feels like you have decided to let some things go. 6 and 4 is 10 swords. You've decided to let some things go, and it could possibly be the Eight of Swords that you have decided to let go. Tell me about some new opportunities for Gemini. I'm going to go back and clarify all these, by the way. New opportunities. Wow. You're going to have a lot of opportunities, and that means you're going to have to make choices. And that's why this Four of Swords is showing up as your main focus for the year, is that you are going to have to make clear, stable decisions, right? Keeping the emotions out of it, I think. Some of those opportunities that are coming are going to play on your heartstrings. They're going to be, some of them, very emotional. And you're going to have to make choices, possibly, that you never thought you'd have to make. Something you must acknowledge this year, Gemini, the Page of Pentacles, that stability is of utmost importance in all things. The brand new things, I feel like, it almost feels like there's opportunities that are going to be showing up, but I want to say make sure that you see those opportunities face to face. And so I'm talking about those of you who are on the apps, who are on the dating apps, who are doing things primarily through the computer. I feel like there is some energy here that it's saying, make sure that the stability comes when you finally see this person face to face. And just be careful with what you do, because you're going to have a lot of opportunities, and not all the opportunities are things that you're going to want to take with you. Some of them, in fact, are going to be quite chaotic. And so make sure that you are not taking people at their word, because I feel like you're going to be having a lot of opportunities, things that you've got to sift through. How to approach your challenges this year. Page of Wands, very interesting. So be willing to take risks. Sometimes I feel, Gemini, you can maybe think things out, maybe end up in the Eight of Swords too much. And that sometimes that holds you back from making decisions. I feel like the Page of Wands is telling me to tell you to lighten up a little bit. That sometimes it's okay to take a small risk. And I'm not saying, go to the casino and blow all your money. I'm saying small risks, that maybe you will meet someone face to face. Maybe you'll go to a place where you meet someone face to face rather than meeting them on the apps first. Like, it feels like small risks, right? Spirit's advice for Gemini for 2025 is the Three of Swords. That some of these opportunities that you have here are apt to break your heart, maybe be disappointing, and that's why you need to have a foundation of some sort. Don't trust everything that comes at you through the apps or on the computer, or it feels like you'd be best to do business with businesses that are, have boots on the ground in your city or in your community. It feels like you need to materialize things. Make sure that you can see it, touch it, taste it, smell it. You know what I mean? Instead of assuming that what is going on the other side of the screen is the true thing. We've got the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Look, you've worked on yourself really hard in 2024, and I feel like not everyone should have access to your energy. This is, the Eight of Pentacles is self-mastery. It feels like you've conquered something or that you have learned something. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles tells me keep it to yourself. Hold on to that. It feels like you should hold on to whatever that you've been learning, the self-mastery bit here, and don't let people in all the time, right? She's got a fence behind her here that maybe you just need to put boundaries up between you and some people who would like to take a straw and suck all of your good energy because they don't have any of their own. All right, let's find out what else is going on here. Let's go back and clarify just a little bit. First one is what you don't know. What you don't know is, look, you're a powerful manifester. And I think that thoughts become things. And think about where you are right now. These are all things that you have wished for. And I feel like you don't realize what a powerful manifester you are. And so I feel like what you don't know is that, when you realize the power of manifestation and that thoughts do become things and your actions create energy, then you start watching your words because you realize ye are a witch. You realize that spelling, right? You are casting a spell with every word that you say, and it's all bouncing off the universe and coming back to you. So I feel like this year is a year where you realize that you are in fact the magician, and that you've really got to be careful with, what you do, what you say, because it all points back to you. That's all it is. If every single word you said bounced off the universe and came back, would you be happy with it? Tell me about the magician, please. We have the Lover's energy, so all things in love. We do have the Three of Cups. And we have the Six of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like not everybody that shows up at your social gatherings or places where you become social, not everybody is worth your time, I'm going to say, because we do have the Six of Wands here. And I feel like I'm talking to somebody who gets a lot of attention. So I feel like this year, if you haven't been getting a lot of attention, I feel like this year is the year where you will get a lot of attention. And a lot of attention for some of you could be romantically because the Lovers is here. But for others of you, it could be because you choose to be more social, because the Lovers card is about a choice, right? So it might be choice that you make in love, but it could be choice you make in social situations. The Three of Cups being here is celebratory, right? Celebrations, having drinks, going out with friends. And the Six of Swords is leaving the chaos behind. So what you don't know is that you are calling all of this in. You're calling in the social situations, you're calling in the lover, you're calling in situations where you're going to have to sift through them sword by sword. And the full moon about releases, right? You're going to have to release what you don't need. So you are a very powerful manifester, and it's going to become more apparent to you this year than any other year. What will help you thrive is the Eight of Swords. Every moment that you've spent overthinking something, I feel is what's going to help you thrive. I feel like, this can be a place where you can get stuck, and it can become a toxic place. But at some point, we all get stuck in the Eight of Swords, where we maybe catastrophize things that we really can't see things as they are. And when we finally do see it, then we realize it was nothing to be afraid of. But I feel like the Eight of Swords is telling me that what's helping you thrive this year is the fact that you've thought everything through already. Like, it feels like there's really no scenario that is going to surprise you, because you have put all of the thought into it already. You've thought about all the things that could go wrong, all the things that could be terrible, about jumping into a new relationship, jumping onto a new path, which is the Ace of Cups, emotional things possibly, and then we have the Eight of Cups. So I feel like you've already thought about all the ways in which it could go great, all the ways in which you could go wrong, and I think that's what's going to help you thrive this year. I'm going to say, just, we all get into the Eight of Swords, just don't maybe just pop a tent there. Don't build a house there. And it feels like that you need to learn how to detach from the Eight of Swords. You need to learn how to detach emotionally from the Eight of Swords and stop worrying about who's leaving. Stop worrying about who's not going to be in your life. Stop worrying about, why don't I have a person or a plus one, or why am I not emotionally happy? I feel like that's what gets you into this Eight of Swords energy here. And it's time to give up. Time to give up the worry is what it is. The actions to take here, walking away. Like it really does feel like we've got the Six of Swords, which is telling me to tell you to release things, get out of there, disconnect from the chaos. This again, the Eight of Cups is saying disconnect. It's all about discerning when to disconnect. I feel like it's really important to know when to leave the room, the relationship, the party. It's really knowing when to leave. And I feel like the actions to take is, as long as you look over the details and have all the information that you need, the Knight of Pentacles, going slow at it is probably your best bet here. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Six of Pentacles. And we've got the 10, sorry, not the 10, but the Sun. So I think this is really great, because it's telling me here that the actions that you need to take are the actions that you need to take, whether you need to give to someone or you need to get the hell out of there. I feel like the Sun is here to tell you when to back away and when to move forward. Because when the Sun is here, everything, by the way, is in a growth period, but it's also a breakthrough. And when the Sun is here, everything has clarity. So you're gonna know this year when to leave the party, when to leave the relationship. It feels like you are somebody who is quick to give or quick to overgive, I want to say. And it's time for you to stop doing that. And I feel like you will know when it's time to stop doing that, because the Sun is here. Letting go of the Six of Swords, or using the Six of Swords to let go, I should say, because this is leaving the chaos, going to the calm, and only taking with you what you've learned from 2024. Tell me what the Six of Swords is all about. We've got the Fool. We've got the Queen of Swords. And we've got the Queen of Wands. Get the hell out of there. That's what I want to say. Get the heck out of there. So, we have the Fool here. And I feel like you're on, it's like onward and upward, friend. You are on to bigger and better things. You're on to greener pastures. And I feel like that's what the Fool is telling me. That it's time for you to connect from the things that don't serve you anymore. The things that feel too chaotic, it's time to let go of those things and move forward to the new chapters. And the only way that you can do that is with the Queen of Swords energy. You really need to build some boundaries and be honest with yourself and about those boundaries, right? The Queen is holding up that sword. It's a sword of truth, right? And so I feel like you need to start to being honest with yourself about how you're going to shape 2025. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? It's time for you to start being honest with people around you, and not in a way that's offensive, right? Because the Queen of Swords isn't here to ruffle feathers. The Queen of Swords is here to be honest and truthful with herself, and therefore must be honest and truthful with you, whether you are the feminine or the masculine. And the Queen of Swords is the one who's always keeping promises to him or herself. And so I'm going to put up these boundaries, and no matter who tries to cross the boundaries, I have a set of beliefs that I'm going to follow, that I feel are good beliefs, that are not unreasonable beliefs, and I'm going to keep those beliefs, and I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm just going to be honest and truthful. That is going to create new doors that open for you, but please understand that as it creates new doors, that means that you're going to have to leave other things, right? And so you're going to have to leave some things behind in order to walk through the new doors. But I feel like being honest with yourself and truthful with yourself is really the way to go. I really love this combination of the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Swords is putting up the boundaries, and the Queen of Wands doesn't really care what you think. I couldn't care less if you like what I'm saying or not. And I kind of love that energy with the Six of Swords energy. It is because you've gained some clarity. And with the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords is in the hand of the Queen of Swords. And so I feel like it is time for you to move away from things and situations that no longer serve you, people, situations. It feels like it's time to go and walk through some new doors, make some new relationships, maybe get a new job. But it's time to be really honest with the people around you and stop feeling sorry about it. Find your truth and stick to your truth and stick to your guns and stick to the promises that you make to yourself. Because the main focus here is the Four of Swords. And I feel like you're not making decisions in haste this year. I feel you're making decisions that you've slept on it. I now have got stability of the mind. I know what decision I'm going to make because I thought out all the scenarios. If I do this, if I do A, B is going to happen. If I do C, D is going to happen. Tell me about the Four of Swords. We've got the Four of Pentacles. I like that because in order to get stability in your pentacle world, which is house, home, family, relationships, that kind of thing, in order to be able to get stability there, you must be able to have stability of the mind to make good decisions. We do have the Two of Cups. It's going to involve some people that you love, and it's also going to involve this particular thought process is going to be involved in who you pick to be the next person who is in your life in, that lovely magical way, right? The Seven of Pentacles, because you've put too much damn hard work into yourself to be giving up your boundaries now. I feel like that's essentially what's going on here. It feels like with the Seven of Pentacles that you've put a lot of hard work into your life, into you, into deciding what your boundaries should look like and who should stay behind the boundaries. Not everybody is earned a spot at the table. And I feel like the Two of Cups tells me that whether it's love or friendship or somebody that you love platonically or romantically, you're going to apply the same Four of Pentacles and Four of Swords. New opportunities. Like I feel like you need to get this down, the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. You need to get that down because you're about to get a lot of opportunities, emotional ones. And they could be platonically emotional, like emotional decisions could be, am I going to continue this friendship with this person or not? Or it could be that maybe you have people who want to date you coming at you this year. We've got the Nine of Wands. Be suspicious. Stay behind the fear wall. It feels like, I just want to say the Seven of Cups has exhausted you. It's going to exhaust you. It feels like a lot of opportunities that are emotional are about to show up, and it's going to be exhausting trying to pick which ones you want and which ones you're trying to say, no, thank you. We do have the Eight of Wands, and it might come at you pretty quickly. I feel like your love life is about to speed up for a lot of you, and you are going to be making a lot of decisions that might break others' hearts. Yeah, it feels like you're going to have to say no in order to be able to find what it is that you want. To keep your stability, think about it first, decide what you want, who's on your checklist, what's on your checklist, and make sure that you are all of those things. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles, please. Something you must acknowledge. I think that one of the things that you must acknowledge, not only that you need to see people face to face, but is that I feel like it feels like you've been playing it small. I want to say that you've been avoiding things, maybe playing it a little small. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles, something you must acknowledge. We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Star energy, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. You need to make a decision, friend. Yeah, it feels like you need to make a decision. I feel like some of you are playing it small in your life. Like, I mean, how can I say that you don't put yourself out there? Maybe you don't get out and be social because you don't really want to attract attention. Like, it feels like you're playing small, right? But I feel like you're hopeful. You're hopeful to find someone who is abundant and single and stable in their pentacle world, somebody who is confident, they look good, they smell good, they take care of themselves. And I feel like you're going to be all of those things too. And if you're not, you need to be those things that are on your checklist are not only the things that are yours, but the things that you want in other people. They have to be what you are as well. I feel like you're hopeful. A single hopeful person, possibly someone that I'm speaking to, is hopeful that the tides are going to turn, right? That things are going to change, but things don't change on their own. You need to stop playing it small. And this is 10 Pentacles, right? You need to start being serious about what you want in a long-term relationship here and start healing the parts of you that are not on your list. And so if that person is chiseled and beautiful or has long hair and beautiful nails or whatever they are, if they're taking care of themselves on the outside, updated look, you better make sure that you're all of those things because you're only going to attract what you are. So I feel like decisions are in order here, that you will be making decisions because I feel like the world in this person's hands telling me that you're like wanting to expand. You want an adventure. It's time to make a decision and time to plan to make changes possibly, that you're hopeful that you're going to meet someone as single and confident as you. Got the Page of Wands, how to approach challenges in 2025. I feel like you're supposed to, this is sort of being carefree, right? Being carefree, taking small risks, as I was saying, that it's okay to take small risks. People are scared to get into relationships because they don't want to be hurt again. And I really do feel like it doesn't matter what relationship you jump into, as long as you have an exit plan. If this doesn't work out, how am I going to treat myself? Am I going to self-loathe? Am I going to feel like it's my fault? Am I going to feel like this person tossed me aside? Or am I going to say, you know what? The universe just kind of took them out of the way because they weren't my person. And so maybe I have a lot of lessons that they don't have. Maybe we're not compatible. Like, I feel like the way you're going to approach challenges this year is sort of in this sort of way of, you know what, I'm just going to throw it back to the universe and say, you know what, if it's not mine, it's not mine. I feel like you're going to take some of these small risks here, and I feel like you're not going to hate on yourself if things don't work out, because you're going to have this sort of carefree attitude. We do have the moon energy here. I think this is something that you might be saying, Elsie, you're full of crap. That's not the way I run. But I feel like you don't see it yet. I feel like this is learned through wisdom, maybe the wisdom of the Nine of Pentacles, the wisdom of the Queens, right? We have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Hanged Man. So I do feel like instead of holding yourself back and sacrificing yourself, that maybe it's time for you to have a different perspective. And the different perspective is that when romance does show up for you, that I feel like instead of being scared of it or having fear of it because the moon is here and you don't know what's going on, that it's time for you to kind of throw it back to the universe and say, it is what it is. I'm going to give it a shot, but this is my exit plan. My exit plan is I'm not going to feel self-loathing about it. It doesn't matter if they go. If they go, it's because they were supposed to and they weren't supposed to stay in the first place. I feel like you're getting a different perspective on romance, is what it feels like. And I don't think that you need to be fearful of it. Just make sure that you have an exit plan, one that you're going to be okay with. Tell me why Spirit's advice is the Three of Swords. Oh, the Knight of Swords is here. Guess what? The Knight of Swords and the Three of Swords is telling me that Spirit's telling you that sometimes you just blurt shit out and it does this to people. Yeah. That sometimes you just blurt it out because that's what the Knight of Swords is. That's Gemini energy. This is being very brave in the way that you speak. Look, I don't care if you change. Maybe you don't want to change, but I'm just saying to you, Spirit's advice is sometimes when you open your mouth and you go at things with, like you just blurt it out into the universe, that you can cause people to, you can cause the breaking of people's hearts. And maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't care at all. I mean, that's totally up to you. But I think the advice is that it's time for you to soften the tongue just a little bit here. The Seven of Wands is here. And I don't mean not say the things that you want to say, but there are ways you can say it, like with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is not somebody who's just going to blurt it out and say it to you and say, look, quit being a jerk. That's not what the Queen is going to say. The Queen is probably going to say, you know what? I don't think we have the same opinion on that thing, so maybe we should go to the next subject. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a way that you can say it without being unkind. And I don't think that you mean to be unkind, Gemini, but sometimes it can just fly off your tongue. The Seven of Wands is telling me that it's time for you to stand up for yourself. And sometimes you're going to be in situations where you feel very defensive. And I feel like you need to take the higher ground, is what I'm going to say. That instead of just blurting it out and hurting someone's feelings, it's time for you to learn how to take the higher ground and learn how to say it in the way that gives clarity rather than hurtful energy. I'm going to say we've got 3, 4, and this one is 5. In a way that when you get into a situation where you're talking with someone who you know that you're in a debate with, and somebody who has different intentions than you, somebody who's trying to win at any cost, or somebody who has different fundamental differences with you, I feel like you're supposed to take the higher ground this year. And that might be something that you need to work on. But we do have the Ten of Pentacles. I feel that ultimately it is going to bring you blessings. It's going to bring you blessings, a lot of abundance. People are going to want to come around. You're going to have a lot of Pentacle energy. Ten of Pentacles is an energy of blessings and abundance. And I feel like, it's okay to be really honest about the things that need honesty, because the Seven of Swords is here, and when you need to call someone out on their shit, you need to call them out on their shit, and that's the truth. But there always is going to be a way that the Queen of Swords would say it that maybe the Knight of Swords would not say it. Look, right? Remember, we end with the same card that we began with, which is the Magician. And the truth of the matter is whatever you throw out at somebody else is pointed right back at you. So if you're throwing swords to someone else, those swords are coming right back at you. You could end up getting stuck. Just saying. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching, Gemini. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. And happy 2025 to you guys. I hope it's starting out well. Bye-bye.